Hello, everybody, and welcome to Minimalist Gourmet, where today I'll be showing you everything about strawberries. That's right, today we're going to learn how to properly wash them, prep them, hull them, store them in the fridge for 2 to 3 times longer without going mushy, and freeze them. So let's get started. And to start things off, we need to wash these. The best way to do this is to place the strawberries into a large bowl and fill with water. But to this water, we're going to add a very special ingredient, which is white vinegar. We need to pour in about a quarter to a half a cup of the white vinegar directly on top of the strawberries and mix that in. The vinegar will not only work to help clean off the surface of dirt, it will actually kill some of the bacteria that may be lurking on the surface of the strawberry. So we're going to mix that around very well and agitate them and let it sit for about 4 to 8 minutes to completely clean our strawberries. I let my strawberries soak for 5 minutes, and the water looked like this. It was fairly dirty, and there was a lot of material floating in there, so I'm definitely glad that we got this off. We're going to take this to the sink and pour off all this dirty water and fill it with some fresh water so we can give these a nice rinse. Now, just gently agitate your strawberries in the fresh water to dislodge any other dirt that might be on here. Empty the water out, and we'll continue on with drying. It is very important that our strawberries are dry for the next step, so we're going to place some paper towels down on our counter and place the strawberries on top of the towels. We want to let them sit out here for about 10 or 15 minutes just at room temperature so we can allow all of that excess moisture to evaporate off of the skin. For storage in the fridge long term, I recommend using a container that has a very tight fitting lid. Now, the whole point of this is to keep the moisture away from the strawberries and off of their surface. So we're going to place a paper towel in the bottom here and then start putting our strawberries in. However, before we do that, we want to gently dry them off very carefully with some paper towels to get any remaining moisture off of that surface. This will help prolong their life in the fridge and help them store for about 2 to 3 times longer without getting mushy. It's best to keep your strawberries in just a single layer. However, this really isn't practical for most people because we don't have the storage space or the containers to do this. It's absolutely fine if you need to stack them. However, between each layer of strawberries, you want to add a paper towel so that it can absorb any moisture and keep the skins from contacting one another layer to layer. And remember, you want to store your strawberries whole. If you cut them or hull them before putting them into the fridge, they won't last as long. I'm just doing a single layer here, so I'm finished. You want to always top it with a clean, dry paper towel, and then put the lid on nice and tight. This will go in the fridge, and your strawberries are going to keep about 2 to 3 times longer without getting mushy. Let's take a look at your hulling options, or getting rid of the stems. One of the easiest methods is to just place the strawberry down on a cutting board and cut off the top just like this. However, depending on your recipe, you might need to modify your technique. Another style that you can try is the V-cut. You're going to take your knife and come in slightly underneath the stem just like this and cut down to the center at a 45-degree angle. You're going to rotate the strawberry 180 degrees to the other side, come underneath the stem, and cut it out at a 45-degree angle. You'll be left with that channel just like that. A third technique is to pry out the top. You're going to choke up on the knife just like this and grab it just by the tip. Do be careful, obviously, you're grabbing a knife around the blade. You're going to jam that in and slice just a tiny little bit and then pry the top out. Now, usually the stem comes out in one piece, but if not, you can just go ahead and stick the tip of the knife in and pull that out. Similarly, you can take the tip of the knife, run it all the way around the center of the strawberry here, cutting the hull out and leaving a nice cavity if you want to do a filled strawberry. With your strawberries totally prepped, we can freeze them. I'll be using a plate, but you can use a plate, baking sheet, cutting board, anything flat like that, and some parchment or wax paper. You want to place your strawberries down just so they're not touching. If they're touching, they'll freeze into one large brick, and that's not what we're looking for. We're going to place this into the freezer for at least 6 hours until they're completely hardened up. And while those are freezing, maybe you could go down and give this video a like. I'd really appreciate it. As soon as your strawberries are frozen solid, you can pull them back out of the freezer and then separate them from the plate and the wax paper. Since they aren't touching, they're going to break apart quite easily here and they won't be all stuck together. That is excellent, exactly what we're looking for. All we have to do now is place these into a Ziploc bag and put them back in the freezer for long-term storage. And guys, it really is just that easy to prepare and store strawberries to use in all of your favorite recipes. I really hope you enjoyed the video today, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all again here real soon on the next episode Minimalist Gourmet.